We make the strings.
Yeah. All right, so day 3 of Ford Fusion engine swap. This thing's got some freaking holes. 2 holes. All right, so we're pretty much in the middle of, not really in the middle of nowhere. We're headed towards Bennett, Colorado, which is east of Denver. I think about 30, 45 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer. But so I had 2 choices when it came to picking up an engine for this Fusion. One was a 85,000 mile engine off of Craigslist for 350 bucks, or there's this other one for $490 plus tax and core charge, which I got the core in the back, but 27,000 miles and it has a warranty. So I opting for the warranty and a little bit lower miles. The car does have 60,000 miles on it, and I don't know, I'd just like to keep it nice and low miles. I mean, obviously I don't actually know the reliability of the engines, like as far as if they are known for problems or issues or anything like that. But I figure one with 27,000 miles is probably a little bit better than one with 60 or 80, because this one had 60, which based upon like the condition of the car and in certain aspects, I would assume that they didn't really change oil and do all that stuff in this one. So I guess I'll let you guys know when we get there and get her loaded up. All right, here we are. Way out in the middle of somewhere, and they got cars. Alright guys, so we're back on the road, and we're headed back into Denver without a new engine. So good thing I was kind of found a guy on Craigslist that had that a little bit cheaper one with the 80,000 miles. This one, obviously, since it's such a low mile engine, it's been sitting around a long time, and basically this junkyard, they acquired it from another junkyard that didn't take care of their stuff quite right, and there's a little bit of rust in the, obviously like some water sat in the cylinders, and then they're like, one of them was full of oil, one of them was kind of oily looking, and then the 2 other ones looked like they had like water sitting in them, and one of the valves was open basically on the exhaust side or intake side, and it's basically just had a little bit basically rust like freaking sitting in there. So I took a picture of it. Hopefully you guys can see that right now. But the nice thing about this other one is it's literally out of a Fusion. It's all there. It has the intake manifold, exhaust manifold, as far as I know. All the AC compressor, all the pumps and all the accessories and stuff that actually go on it. Whereas this other one had, it was completely stripped, and it could have just been a little bit more of a hassle. They had another one there out of a Ford Transit, and it had like another an oil cooler thing on it, and just a bunch of extra little kind of minor little details. But obviously I'm paying somebody to put this engine in there, and I don't want to take up a whole lot of their time, or have to pay them extra essentially for work that they shouldn't have had to do, because I was just giving them basically a direct replacement. So yeah, gonna go grab that other, hopefully grab this other one, and hopefully make this trip not kind of a little bit of a waste. I guess the other thing is, since I did run over my RX 100 the other day, my Sony camera, I'm on the dad cam right now. This is what I've filmed on forever, but I really like to have that small camera for just kind of almost stuff like this. It's, you can throw it in your pocket. Like when I was in there, I could have just pulled it out, whipped my flashlight out, showed you guys the little details of it. And whereas, this thing, it's like a little bit bigger. It's like carrying around like a freaking beer can or something. Bigger than a beer can, like a Foster's can or something. But yeah, so Best Buy has the Mark 6, which is the new one with like the extra, like the big extra zoomy like Choochie Boy on it, where it just zooms in like super crazy. Because as you guys know, I like the zoom button, and the Mark 5 didn't have as big of a zoom. Apologize about this little rant, but we're freaking cruising around today. I'm listening to podcasts. Nobody's with me today. We got some everybody else had stuff to do, and which it's kind of nice to just go for a little drive by yourself and listen to podcasts and think about things and look at stuff, and you could bump the radio and all the songs that you don't want people to know that you listen to. You can pick your nose. Good stuff. All right, so I just picked up another engine and complete tranny, just because the guys, they basically bought a car that was wrecked in the front and used a bunch of the other pieces and stuff to fix another car, which is kind of nice to hear, because it's nice to have something that's actually kind of been wrecked. But the nice thing is, so this is the one that had a little bit more miles, it had around 80, but what he told me is that when they drained the oil out of it, it had basically brand new oil in it, it had a Motorcraft filter, and it had a sticker up in the windshield from a Ford dealership. And the car was super clean. You know, it was like the fully loaded model, and you know, the remaining pieces of it that were actually there were really clean. So hopefully it wasn't like, oh, also I popped the oil cap on it and looked at that, and the engine basically looks like brand new. It's you know, kind of basically silver, and then the oil that was kind of on the top was just golden. There's no like basically sludge. Like the engine that we pulled out of this Fusion actually has sludge in it. You could actually see like the crispy like oil like built up on the cams and stuff. And for like a 2013, you know, with modern oil and stuff like that, typically you shouldn't see that at like 60,000 miles. It should look almost freaking brand new. So we have a tranny we could sell now, or is gonna hang around in my buddy's shop. And we still have the core for this other one, and it was $200 cheaper. So I think this was definitely the better deal. I wish I would have just came here first, because it would literally save me about an hour and a half. And the cool thing is the mechanic guy that was actually there, he actually watches the videos. So shout out to you. Thanks for hooking it up and you know, kind of helping me out in this situation. Obviously, neither of us knew each other before we got there, but he's like, "You make YouTube videos, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, I watch your videos with the F350s." So they were stoked to actually see the truck and stuff in person, and it's just cool to kind of, you know, meet guys like that, and you know, just regular dudes just working on shit in their garage, and they watch the videos, and I mean, that's what it's all about. So I guess if you could see, that's the engine tranny. We're dealing with the freaking you know, all of the traffic up here. And so yeah, I guess that's so after I get done buying like diesel trucks and doing YouTube videos and all that other stuff, I want those right there. Like I want some doors. So I don't know if you guys haven't I guess seen recently, or this you know, this whole Fusion project little thing basically stemmed from me kind of like saying, you know, hey, like mostly being 100% reliant on YouTube, and you know, seeing that I talked about this in the last video, seeing kind of the views drop and doing some other stuff, it kind of scared me a little bit. And you know, because obviously the views and the revenue and all that stuff, I'm like, ooh, like, all right, well, we gotta do some stuff. So I just kind of we're making sure I still got it, is what we're trying to do, and we're firing back up the side hustle, but we're trying not to do it with a whole lot of like effort, essentially, to where it's going to take away from like the YouTube stuff. So it's like I don't know, that's pretty much it. I don't like, you know, tell you my whole freaking like plan for everything. So I mean, but you guys could do it too. But all right, see you later. Now we are on our way to the Best Buy. I'm gonna go see if I could swindle me a deal on that RX 100 Mark 6, because I have an open box one there, and hopefully I can figure out that it's like missing a charger or something like that, and we could get them down on the price. That's kind of the plan, but we'll see. So we're on the RX 100 Mark 6 today. I'm freaking excited because I don't have to deal with the freaking G7X and the big dad cam. So yeah, this is the engine that I got from those guys that they pulled out of the kind of wrecked car. And I mean, it seems pretty nice. It's got all the things. The only thing we need to do is swap out the oil filter housing, because they had this one, or they had another engine that it kind of busted off. They were working on another wrecked car, so they had like 3 or 4 of them Fusions over there. Yeah, this is definitely a nice little engine. It doesn't have any. It's not a 2-hole anymore. It's a 0-hole. Here's. Oh, you can't even see in there. Yeah, she's gonna be hopefully done today. Yeah. Yeah, look at that freaking connecting rod completely busted off her. So it's pickup day for the Fusion. It's running. It's not smoking. The seat's still a little bit dirty, but yeah, engine's on. She's up to almost operating temp. somewhere in there. But I guess he drove around. We just went ahead and threw it straight on this guy. But it's all there. It's running. That wasn't too bad. So I dropped this off yesterday about like the same time. You had it done last night, so that's not too bad. So I got this guy unloaded, and I think me and Dave are gonna take her to lunch. And she does have a check engine light. Maybe I should check that before we go. But yeah, this isn't really a shock to me, because this car, I haven't had this thing long enough for it to be like weird that it runs. But oh, check this out. This was the freaking radio, or the CD in here. But that's a Katy Perry CD is what it is. Yeah, Dave gets to try this guy out right here. I'm gonna grab the code reader real quick because we have one code. It has like a big old freaking chooch cloud going on behind us. I don't know if you can see that smoke.
Oh, it's cold.
Oh wow. Because it had all that stuff that was in the exhaust from before. It still needs to burn out. So I guess I need to drive it around for a little bit while. Little cloud we got going on. It's gonna take a little bit of driving to clear out all that stuff out of the exhaust, because as you guys know, when we first started, oh wow, look at that zoom. Ooh. As you guys know, when we first started this freaking thing, it had just tons and tons of smoke coming out of the exhaust, obviously because it's been shooting a bunch of oil in there. So now you basically need to get this thing up to like hot, like just really freaking ripping it, just to try to clear some of that out. So I'll have to drive around a little bit more, but I mean, it's driving good. Check engine light went away after I cleared it, and that was just for the injector, the number 2 injector, because the harness was cut. So he basically spliced that back in, but I think he started it before, so it still had that code. But it's not as slow as I thought it was going to be. It's honestly not bad. I mean, it's a 2.5, so it's faster than a KA. As soon as you get above 60, it's like, but honestly, it's not as slow as I thought it was going to be. Like, it has a lot of like low-end torque, and I really like the steering. Like, the steering feels really nice. David likes that seat so much, he decided to put a
trash bag
underneath it. But yeah, I think she's getting pretty close to being. Actually, when we slow down, it like starts smoking again. But I don't know. We're gonna have to put some more miles on it.
Smoke.
You still got a little pitter patter.